what's up guys? Today I received an email asking me some questions on stealing bases. So I want to go over third base and how we steal it, what we're looking for, and how we can take different situations and help us become a better base stealer. Before we even decide to steal, we need to go through the situation of the game and decide if it's the right time to steal. The first thing is you want to steal third with one out and not with no outs. The reason is with no outs, you can give your batter a chance to get you over. So if he hits a ground ball to the right side, or there's 5 ways to get over the third, but if it's a ground ball to the right side, if he hits a deep fly ball, if he hits a chopper, a slow roller, there's a bunch of different ways, but he has a bunch of ways to get you over to third without you risking an out by getting thrown out over there. So with no outs, you want to give the batter the chance to move you over himself. Now, let's say he doesn't get that done, and now there's one out. Well, now we can decide to steal third base, but there still has to be a few more things that happen to make sure we will have the best chance of making it. So that's the first thing. You want to have one out. The second thing is you want to have a right-handed batter in the box and not a left-handed batter. It's pretty simple. If it's a right-handed batter, well, the catcher, he first can't see you as well when you're running, but secondly, he has an object in his way, so he can't just throw the ball to third base because your batter will stand there and he won't be able to have a clear shot. So he's going to have to maneuver himself around the batter to throw the ball, and it's going to take time. If there's a left-handed hitter, he has a clear view of you. He'll just catch, drop to a knee, and throw, and it'll be very tough unless you get a huge jump off the pitcher. The third thing is you would rather do it with a left-handed pitcher on the mound and not a right-handed pitcher. A couple reasons. A right-handed pitcher, he can look at you for a long time because he's almost facing you. His chest is pointed towards you. A left-handed pitcher is going to he'll have his back to you, so when he goes to turn his head, he will not be able to tell if you're going. It makes it very tough for him. Also, left-handers usually have a little bit slower of a delivery home than right-handers do. I don't know why, that's just the way it is. So those are a couple things you want to keep in mind when you're trying to decide, do I want to steal third here or do I not? Now, after we've gone over those few things, let's get into the actual mechanics of stealing. The first thing, and we'll go into watching this video a little bit. Here's Shane Victorino, and I'll play it for you guys so you guys can kind of see what he does. Okay, so that's him stealing in slow motion. Now let's go over what he does and what you need to do if you want to steal third base. So the first thing is you need some movement and momentum. You don't want to have your feet not moving because when you're trying to steal third, the catcher is a lot closer to third base than he is to second. So you can't just plan on beating him with your speed. You need a little bit of help. You got to really steal this off the pitcher, and you need some momentum to get you going. So how do you do that? There's a few ways. You can start a little bit back behind the baseline, so you can start more back here, and you can slowly walk it in. And when you're walking, you want to be walking towards third base and not just straight in. You want to be gaining a little bit of ground. Or you can get in the baseline like Shane does, and you can take little small shuffle steps and try to keep gaining some ground towards third base. The important thing to do is, if you're going to do the shuffle or the walk, you want to make sure that your feet aren't in the air for a long time. So if you're shuffling, it's just very, very small shuffles so you can stay on the ground. That way, if there is a quick pick put on, or a daylight or some kind of pick, you can get back to second really quickly, and you're not shuffling, taking big shuffles, and now we're in the air and we don't have time to get down and get back. So make sure that we're doing small shuffles. Second thing you want to do is understand the looks that a pitcher will do to second base, and you can do this throughout the game. You don't have to be on second. You should do this before you're out there. Once a runner gets to second base, watch and see what type of looks the pitcher does. Is he a one-look guy and go? Does he mix it up and do 2 looks or 3 looks? Does he do no looks? Most pitchers will get in the pattern, and most guys are going to come set, look at you, turn their head, go to the plate. Come set, look at you, turn their head, go to the plate. That's what a lot of guys do. If a guy gets into that rhythm, well, you get on second base, you're going to plan to go on that one look. So he's going to come set, look at you. You're going to start to do a little bit of walking off. Once he turns his head, you start to take off. You have to keep your eyes on him, because if he looks back again, well, then you slam on the brakes and you come back. Now, when I say take off, I don't mean once he looks away, you just put your head down and go into a dead sprint, because if he looks back, you're going to look pretty foolish being halfway to third base as he's still holding onto the ball, and he's going to step off and throw the ball at third base. You'll be out by 40 feet. But when he starts to turn his head, you start to get off the bag more. You start to really walk off or shuffle off, and you're just about ready to go. And that way, once his leg comes up, you go. The next thing we need to do is understand that you don't have to run. So there's no need for you to get out in second base and say, I have to go. Things have to go right in order to steal third base. You can't just get out there and run unless you're one of the fastest guys in the league and you know there's no chance I can get thrown out. And a lot of us aren't that fast. So things need to go right. You need to have all those things that we talked about be in place if you want to steal third base. If they're not there, well, don't run and just wait for the next time. There's going to be a lot of opportunities. You're going to get to second base a lot throughout the season. The next thing I want to talk about is, and we've already gone over this a little bit, is to keep your eyes on the pitcher for the inside move. If you're shuffling off, or if you decide to go on that look in the leg kick and he does an inside move, you need to keep your eyes on him, because believe me, even if you're a little ways off the base and you're going, if he does an inside move, a lot of pitchers do the inside move and they don't think, in their mind they're thinking, I never get the guy when I do this inside move. So they're going to do the inside move nice and slow. They're going to turn, and then once they see you, now they're going to get all excited and try to get rid of the ball quick. You'll have time, especially if you're a base stealer, an athletic guy, to take a few hard steps, slam on the brakes, and get back. So let's watch one more time here, and we'll go through it slowly. So here's Victorino, and you can see he gets a really, really big lead, and you don't even need this big a lead. But this is an aggressive lead. And just watch his feet. You'll see how he starts to shuffle off and get his feet moving. But what happens is Volquez doesn't turn his head. So he was timing it to be to where once he starts to make this move, he's expecting him to turn his head and go to the plate. He doesn't. He stops, comes back a shuffle. Now usually at this point it didn't work, shut it down. Victorino, really good base stealer, really quick, athletic guy, he says, well, I'm still going to go. And once that head turns, here goes the head turning, and he is off. Okay, so a few more things before we end the video. One thing you'll notice when you watch this video is that not everything is in place that I talked about earlier. There is one out, but there's a left-handed hitter hitting, and there's a right-handed pitcher. Now, like I said before, that would be the absolute best scenario for you to steal a base if there's a right-handed hitter, left-handed pitcher. But that doesn't mean you cannot steal in other situations. It's really going to depend on your speed and your base stealing ability. If you're a fringe guy that can steal a bag but can't steal whenever you want, well, then you're going to want as many of those opportunities to get the right-handed hitter and the left-handed pitcher out there. If you're a guy that is a great base stealer, well, then you don't need all those things. Maybe you need one of them. Maybe you need two. Maybe you need three. It all depends on your speed and your ability. Now, Shane Victorino, one of the better base stealers in the big leagues, and the big leagues is a little bit different than high school and college, to where he has all the information he would ever need. He knows exactly how long it takes Volquez to get rid of the ball. He has information on the catcher. He has all types of information that are going to help him even more. So he might not have to wait for that perfect opportunity. So the bottom line is, know yourself, know what type of base runner you are, and know in what situations you can go and which ones you probably shouldn't, and you should shut it down. And if you understand that, well, then you're going to be more successful stealing third than you won't be. So I hope this helps. I hope this helps you understand a little bit better about stealing third, when you should go, when you shouldn't go. So give it a shot, see how it works, and let me know. All right, thanks, guys.